Hello, welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about what is a self-agenda. Awesome, thank you. This comes from the forum. Devin, thanks for writing in. Also, quick aside, I'm going to do another boxing thing, so if you want to come over for that, you're invited. That'll be in February. I sent you an email. Or I should have sent you. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about what is a self-agenda. Devin, thank you for writing into the forum. I appreciate the question. It's nice, short, and sweet, and concise. I appreciate that. The question, so what is a self-agenda? So let me start by providing a platform, and then you can consider the matter and then leap into more of an understanding. In essence, so I'm going to say some things, like when I speak, I am speaking about like an aspect of your experience as a self. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean anything other than like your experience. You see, like you are there, you have an experience. That is what I'm referencing when I'm saying like your self-experience, your experience of being a self. It's like this experience is that, right? So now the question, like what is a self-agenda? Imagine a person. Now, have you ever seen a person or met a person or know of people that have something going on where maybe they are unfulfilled somehow? Maybe they have a sense that they're broken in some way or they're just not right. And then you see these people go through motions like, maybe somebody has a big gaping, metaphorical hole in their soul, so to speak, of, they're just really not good enough. So then they set about trying to make money because money will fix them. And you see that they try to make a lot of money. Maybe they do make a lot of money, and you see that then that doesn't fix the problem. So then they're stuck in this cycle of trying to get more and more and more and more and more, trying to fix this problem by reaching out to the external world to do that. This is an example of an agenda. It's the stuff that we do as human beings to try to fix us and or resolve us, as if we need some kind of resolution. And so the agenda aspect is like whatever is done in that attempt. So if I'm broken in some way, say, and I am trying to, one example that we use in the workshop, it's like imagine a kid who is not loved by his parents or something like that, and so he's got like this, something's not right about me. So then he tries his whole life trying to get somebody that doesn't love him to love him. You see? And so you can see how then there would be a lifelong pursuit from this kid to get the love that was originally the love of his parents, but trying to get the love back and never actually accomplishing that. And then that activity, that attempt, that is what we would call like the self-agenda. Okay? So now I don't know if I did a good job about starting with a springboard. So these are examples. So I don't know if I did a good job about starting with a springboard, but now I'm going to go back to that where now I've just made a definition for you. And perhaps I've made some explanations. Now at least one thing comes up about that. I was talking with Peter the other night, and he mentioned something that struck me where I said, I was talking about the apprenticeship program that's going to be happening in 2024, I believe. We have some people already saying that they're committed. I don't know if they're actually committed, but they've said it, which should mean something. But that's another story. I was talking about it and remembering being an apprentice myself. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's a little digression. I was remembering being an apprentice and going and then marveling and noting because I was outside, I was looking around like, oh yeah, wait a minute. What is the apprenticeship program? And I noticed that it was there's a certain conceptual component to the program. So like for example, right? When I was first being an apprentice, what did I come here starting to do? I was like, oh yeah, he's like the master on the hill. You see, like a legit martial arts master and enlightened teacher. You see, but like the reality of that, not the fantasy, like the real deal. He can fight and he's enlightened. Holy shit. And then what does that do in my mind? You see, I had this thing about the enlightened guru, of course. I was like 17, 18. What else am I going to do? You see? And so then I noticed that is a concept. And there's the concept about doing the apprenticeship, and then there's the apprenticeship. And the concepts, the conceptual component is not in the same domain as the apprenticeship. And I'm getting to my point here, okay? I'm getting to my point. And Peter mentioned, yeah, that's what happens, something like this. That's what happens when people do consciousness work. They actually go the wrong direction because I was noting that the concept is not the same as the objects that were surrounding me. Like the dojo, I'm in the dojo, right? What images does that conjure up for you? It's like some image or a meditation hall or the retreat center. You see, that conjures up an image. That's conceptual. And then there's this. It's a building. It can burn down. Don't want it to burn down. It doesn't care. It just sits here. There's nothing inherently sacred about the building, and then sacredness that lives in, say, if you make it sacred or whatever, that lives in you as a concept. So I'm getting to my point slowly where I got, oh yeah, there's like this conceptual component, but objective reality really doesn't care. Trees don't care. The building doesn't care. Even my body doesn't really care what goes on. I care, but my body will live, grow, die. It just sits here. And the rest is concept. And then Peter mentioned, yeah, people take consciousness work and they go the wrong direction. So I'm starting to forget why I'm telling you all this, but I noticed I got in that moment, oh yeah, there's the reality. He said, instead of going from the conceptual to the real to what is, like consciousness, people tend to go from the conceptual and then consciousness becomes conceptual again, or intellectual, or fantastical, or a spiritual belief system, which is totally the wrong direction. Right. So the whole reason I'm telling you this is I got in that instance like, oh yeah, there's a direction to becoming conscious of what is, and it moves not in the conceptual domain, but to the experience. So then about what I've said, remember self-agenda? I am not inviting you to intellectualize about a self-agenda. I am inviting you to consider experientially what it is in your experience. This is a very different matter than having the thought, oh yes, I know what a self-agenda is. That's easy. You already have done that. I'm inviting you to consider your own self. In this pursuit, in this work, an intellectual consideration that's easy, probably the first thing to do, and ultimately doesn't do squat for your own growth and or to blow your own mind. You see, and that's what we're up to, is that direction. So now the invitation here is to consider for yourself experientially, well, what is an agenda? Do you have stuff going on? Are you broken? Do you try to resolve yourself? What have you been doing your entire life to try to fix you? Do you have anything like that? Do you notice any patterns that you have that you exercise or go through and trying to resolve you, trying to fix you? You see the pattern? Now, has it worked? Probably not. Good. That means you're missing something. That means that there's something to get about that. Is it a happy pattern? Is it a pattern that brings you joy and bliss and empowerment and freedom? Is it? If it is, good, enjoy that. But if not, What's up with that? How come you keep doing these things over and over and over again? This is that stuff that I'm calling, you see, because in English, I got to call it something English for you to understand in English, a self-agenda. What are you up to? And you can see how calling it something, good, it creates a placeholder, and then there is the thing that I am pointing to when I do the calling. So if you want to have this work make an impact on you, or make a difference and be real, then I invite you to consider the reality of a self-agenda, not just what you think about it or how you feel about it. You see, and there's a difference between what you think and feel about something and then the thing itself. So keep considering for yourself. Devin, thanks for writing in. If you want to check in with the forum, this is where this video has come from this time. I have a link in the description. You can post questions. I'll respond. Or not, but usually I'm responding to those. And you can also interact with other people that are like-minded and consider these things. All right, so feel free to check the website. All right? So there you go. Devin, thank you. Also, I'm doing another boxing thing. That's for you or anybody else who wants in on that. This February, I'm going to do a week of boxing. So if you want to do that, then email me about that. Again, link in the description, and that's for you, Devin, specifically. But if anybody else out there wants to learn some real boxing skill, you're invited. We're going to do it here. All right. That's it for now. Thank you very much for writing in. I appreciate it. Continue with your hard work. If any of you out there want to get serious, come here and do a workshop. If you're serious, if you want to be more serious, because they make a huge difference in your progress. Otherwise, enjoy the videos, write to me, drop me a comment, send me an email, and also if you want to see this work out in the world, we're at a pioneering stage as far as I can tell. So hey, if you want more of this work in the world, I invite you to spread the word if you so choose. It's up to you, but I would love it if you did. Okay, cool. I'm Brendan Lee with thebrendanlee.com in support of consciousness and skill worldwide, which is founded by Peter Ralston. Until next time, take care of yourselves or not. It's your life. Keep it up. Talk to you soon. Take care. Ciao. Much love.